Hey guys, my name is Brianna and I'm here today to do a part 2 of 10 baby names that I love but will not be using. This by far has been my most popular video on YouTube, so I figured I have a bunch more names that I actually love, so why not share them with you, since everybody seems to enjoy these videos and hear the baby names that we like but won't be using, even though if I could have 10 kids I totally would, but financially just not feasible. But here are some of the names that I really love but probably unfortunately will never get to use. The first one, I'm going to start with boy names first. The first one is Everett. I think Everett just sounds sort of like woodsy and manly, probably because it's similar to Evergreen, but I love the name Everett. And I think with our last name, it just sounds cool too because his initials could be EK. And I think when you have kind of cool sounding initials, it always lends itself to a good nickname. So Everett is the first boy name I really like that I just don't think we're ever going to use. The second one is Leo. I like Leo partially because of the alliteration it would have with our son's name, Landon. I think Landon and Leo sounds really cute. But my husband, I think when I brought this name up, he's kind of like, eh. But I like Leo. The third name that I love for a boy that we will not be using is Carson. And I love the name Carson. And I think it sounds, again, really nice with the C and the K and that like hard K sound, Carson Kaler. But we actually just had some friends who had a baby boy and they named him Carson. So one, don't want to be a name thief, and two, I think since Landon's name ends in the O-N, we're going to try to like go with a different sound, so it's not a lot of O-N sounding names. The fourth one, and this one actually could be a girl's name as well, but I particularly feel like I would use it for a boy, but Sawyer. I love the name Sawyer. I think it sounds kind of hipster and edgy and cute, and it's also a literary name. I used to be an English teacher, so I really just like the name Sawyer. I think it sounds really cute. It sounds like a playful name for a little boy. Then final boy name that I have is Holden. And Holden I feel like also is one that's nixed just because of Landon's name also being an O-N or E-N sounding. But I love Holden. I think Holden sounds like a really tough, like confident, strong male name. So Holden is definitely a name I love, but just won't be using. Alright, let's get on to the girly names. I was looking at the list of names, and I'm very partial to old sounding names, or more names that were probably trendier at like beginning of the 1900s or in the 1800s. Just, I like names from that era. My girl's name, if we ever do have a girl that Adam and I have agreed on, is a very old, and it's also a literary name. But I'm not going to reveal it in this video. We'll see. If I ever have a girl, you will know what it is. But the girls' names that I also love, this first one, it's more because I would want to pay tribute to my grandma because I just love her to death. Now, her full first name is Gertrude, and she has told me she will curse my life from her grave. She's still living, but she's like, I will curse you forever if you ever name a child Gertrude. She hates her name. But my grandpa always calls her Trudy, and I feel like that's been her nickname. And I love Trudy. Like, I actually think Trudy is a really cute and pretty name. And I also sort of like it because my best friend's name is Dina, and we always call her Dee. So I feel like Trudy kind of combines, it's one after my grandma, but then it also is my best friend's name too. So I like Trudy. The second one that I love, that I feel like my grandma would also kill me for, so her best friend's name is Minerva, and she goes by Min. So she always tells me her and her best friend have the two worst names on the planet, Gertrude and Minerva. But Trudy and Minnie, like their nicknames, like I think those are the cutest nicknames. So I do kind of like the name Minnie, and I feel like with Disney and Minnie Mouse, it just lends itself to like amazing birthday party themes and bedroom themes, or just having so much fun when you go on family vacations to Disney World. And I feel like we're partially, you could consider us Disney freaks. I mean, like we went to Disney on our honeymoon. We just took Landon to Disneyland at 9 months. we're already scheming about when our next Disney vacation is going to be. So I feel like Minnie, if we have more than 2 kids, because I already know if we do have a girl, like what her first and middle name will be already. Minnie, I feel like I might incorporate as a middle name, because then I can do like a bunch of cute Minnie themed stuff, and it's also some fun. You can be like, oh, she's my mini me. So I like Minnie. The third girl baby name that I really like is Rosie. So I was thinking again like family names, and again I feel like this is a older, more traditional name, or Rose is at least. But Rosie, my aunt, her actual full name is Roseanne, but everyone calls her Aunt Rosie. And my sister's middle name is Rose, and I just feel like there's also another woman I knew growing up, and her first name is Rose, and I just have so much respect for her. So I feel like, again, I'm like looking at these names of like people that like either I admire and respect, and using names from an older generation, I think like it just like carries a lot of clout. So I really like the name Rosie. I think it's just so sweet and cute, and again, lends itself to like a beautiful nursery. You can just imagine like roses and flowers everywhere, and very girly and feminine and pretty. The 5th baby girl name that I really like is Shiloh. Again, I was an English teacher, and while this is not a classic literary name, the Shiloh book series by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor is really well liked. It was turned into a movie, I think, even back when I was in school, so a while ago. But I love the name Shiloh, and I do think that Shiloh is another unisex name. It could be for a boy, but I like it for a girl. I think like Shy or something like that could be like a really cute, feminine and pretty nickname. So those are the 10 baby names I love and will be using part 2. I'll put the link to the first video in the comments box if you want to see that one. But again, if I could have a million babies and get to use all these names, I would. But it's fun to think about and kind of scheme about names that you would name your kids if you ended up having 20 or 25 children. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments box below, which of these names did you like? Which of these names did you hate? Is there anyone you know with these names? I love to hear when somebody says, oh, I know a little girl with the name Shiloh and she's beautiful. Like, it's just kind of fun to know that other folks out there like these names too. But please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Would love to have you. Have a great day.